going on, everybody? It's Steven here and welcome to a quick tutorial on how to install the preloader drivers correctly to get your smartphone flashed with sp-flashtool to read back it, backup it and some more. We'll use the Elephone P3000S for this, and yeah, this phone is really great, 64-bit. We'll also use Windows 8.1 64-bit, and today I want to show you how to install the driver correctly. Just make sure you use the USB cable provided with the smartphone, because sometimes they're a little bit different and then it's also not correctly detected. Now I'm showing you this because a lot of people still have problems with that and sp-flashtool is not starting to flash or they cannot read back or whatever. But yeah, today I really want to show you how to correctly do it. Then I would say let's get directly started and let's jump into it. Alrighty guys, we're now here on the computer and now let me quickly show you how to install the drivers. Now yeah, first of all you need to download the driver. You can download it from chinadevices.com, the link is down below in the description, and make sure you download the VCOM zip. So in there you will find the VCOM MTK preloader driver, and this driver is really important. If it's not installed correctly, then sp-flashtool won't detect your smartphone and you cannot flash it, so yeah, those drivers are very important. Now make sure you download them. Now what you download is a zip file, that means you have to extract it, and if you don't know how to do it, then I would suggest that you download 7-zip. Now a link for that is down below in the description, make sure you just download it and install it. And yeah, now it's time to extract the zip file. So we need to get the files out of the folder here, and you can do it just by right clicking it, and then you go here to extract all. Now usually it will ask you where to save it. So on Windows 8 you have such a unzipping program pre-installed. That means you just have to go to extract all. If you have 7-zip, then you go here to 7-zip and extract here or something, okay? So it should be the same thing. Okay, now you just extract them to the same folder where you currently are, like on the desktop. So there we go. And yeah, this will give you a folder which is called VCOM, and in there we have a VCOM folder. And in there we'll have the install driver.exe file and XP drivers, Vista drivers and Windows 7 drivers. Now just to make sure there's no confusion, Windows 8 is Windows 8, we all know that, but the Windows 7 drivers are compatible with Windows 8. Now if you have Vista, then take the Vista drivers, if you have XP, take the XP drivers, because yeah, there are small differences, but if you have Windows 8, Windows 8.1, you can just take the Windows 7 drivers. Okay. Then now before you can install it, you have to disable driver signature enforcement. This is also very important because otherwise the installation will be blocked. And then you can try to install it over and over again, it won't work guys, okay? So make sure you disable that. And I will now show you how to do this. So basically it works like this. You press the Windows button plus C at the same time and this will open here the taskbar, okay? Now you just open up the settings right over here. And here go to change PC settings. Okay, now in there you go to update and recovery, and here you'll find recovery, and there you go to advanced startup. Now if you want to do this, then the PC will restart, and then you will get to a menu where you can just choose to disable driver signature enforcement, but this only works on Windows 8. On Windows 7 64-bit you also need to do that. But you can do it when you press F8 at the boot, and then you just choose the startup option to disable driver signature enforcement. That only works on Windows 7. Now on Windows 8 you need to do it that way. And yeah, now I will just restart here and then I will show you with my camera what you have to press in order to disable driver signature enforcement for the next boot. So I will now restart, let's do a quick cut and then I can show you how to do it. Okay guys, once the PC has rebooted, you should see this menu here. And here you don't go to continue, you go to troubleshoot. Now here you choose advanced options, okay? In there you go to startup settings. And now you will see here in the list, disable driver signature enforcement. So what you just have to do now is you go to restart, and once it has restarted, you can choose that you want to disable the driver signature enforcement. So let's restart another time. Once the PC has rebooted again, you should see the startup settings, and now it's important to choose here number 7, disable driver signature enforcement. Now you can press number 7 on the keyboard, or you just press F7. So it actually doesn't matter, just try 7, and if it doesn't work, try F7. That's what I will do right now, and you see it reboots. Now you should boot directly into Windows, and then we can try to install the driver. So let me quickly boot the system. Okay guys, we're now here back in Windows, so the PC has rebooted, driver's ignatia enforcement is disabled. Now we're going to install the VCOM driver right now, so make sure you enter the folder which contains your VCOM driver. In there you will find the install driver.exe file, and we now try the easy way. So first of all you can just try to right click it, go to run as administrator, then you should see this window here, just go to yes, and after it has installed the driver correctly, you should see install USB driver for Microsoft Professional 64-bit successfully. Well, that's pretty good. Now we can just try to see if it detects the smartphone correctly. Now to trigger the preloader, so also generally for flashing, you have to connect the smartphone without battery first. Then you insert the battery and you see if the preloader pops up. For devices with integrated battery, there should be a reset button, or sometimes if there's no reset button, just like on the UMI 0, there's really no way around it to open it up and desolder the battery or something. Really, you have to do this, otherwise sometimes the preloader is not popping up. Okay, now I have here the smartphone. I will now connect it without battery and then quickly insert the battery. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there we go. And well, I can hear a sound. I'm not sure if you can hear sound, but something is going on. And now we're going to check that. So make sure you enter the control panel. On Windows 8, it's a bit strange because you don't have a taskbar, but you can bypass that by just pressing the Windows button plus R on the keyboard, and that opens up the run menu. Now here you type control space panel and you hit the OK button, and this opens up the control panel. Now once you're in there, you go to the device manager, okay? It should be the same like on Windows 7. And now you connect the smartphone again and you see if you can see here something popping up on the ports. So let me do it. Well, there we go guys. Okay, the sound is there. And wow, on the ports COM LPT drivers you should find the MTK preloader. But there is a problem with that, because it disconnects after about 2 seconds, because then it switches to charging mode to charge the smartphone. Usually when your preloader is bricked or anything, you cannot charge the smartphone anymore and it's not really detected by the computer, because it basically controls all the USB operations too. Okay, now let me try it once again and let's see if it pops up. Usually it comes with a yellow triangle, so what you're going to do if it has a yellow triangle, you be quick like a fox, you right click it and you go to update driver software. Once you right click it, it shouldn't disconnect, so it should stay there, and as you can see it's still here. Now you go to update driver software, and now we do it the manual way. You only need to do this if you have a yellow triangle, but usually the auto installer does a pretty good job. You can try to reboot, try it again. But yeah, usually the auto installer is working and you should see the MediaTek preloader USB VCOM port. Now another thing, if you can see DA USB VCOM port, then this is usually when your preloader is fucked up. So if your preloader is broken, you usually see DA USB VCOM port and not MediaTek preloader. Okay, but let's continue. Let's say the MediaTek preloader has a yellow triangle. Now it's time to act and install the driver manually because the auto installer failed. Okay, make sure you right click it and then you should see this here. How do you want to search for driver software? You just go to browse my computer for driver software, and now you go to let me pick from a list. No, actually you don't need to. You can go here to browse and you can just pick the folder. For instance, if you have Windows 8 or Windows 8.1, you choose this one. If you have Vista, this one. If you have XP, this one. But you can also go to let me pick from a list. Then you go to next, and that's actually the better way. Then you go to have disk, you go to browse, and now you choose the correct INF file. Now we have here the Windows 7 INF file, which works on Windows 7 and Windows 8, but only 32 bits. If you have 64 bits, then you go for that one here. And I have Windows 8.1, 64 bits, that's why I'm going to use this one here. So just make sure you click it, you go to open, and then you should see here the path, you go to OK, you go to next. Windows has successfully updated your driver software. Alright, so now we have the latest driver on our preloader, and let's try to reconnect it to see if it's detected properly. So there we go guys. Okay, here's the sound. Well, and here you can see it, MediaTek preloader USB VCOM. If your preloader is working, it should disconnect after 2 seconds. This is completely normal. But when you start sp-flashtool, you start to download a ROM. then yeah, the preloader doesn't get disconnected, so it will stay alive and the ROM will just be downloaded to your smartphone. Okay guys, so that's basically it. That's my in-depth tutorial on how to install drivers, because I've seen that there are still many problems with that. And when the drivers are not correctly installed, yeah, you cannot flash your smartphone or read back it. Alright guys, so in the next days we'll have some readback tutorial for the 64-bit smartphones, and the driver installation will be a very important part. So if you cannot install a driver, then just make sure you check out this tutorial here. Then we'll also have some MTK how to port a ROM tutorials and some other crap, so stay tuned, we'll have some pretty cool stuff this week. Now thank you once again so much for watching, thanks for all your support. If you have problems with your smartphone, check out chinadevices.com. We have now 32,000 members. We are almost the biggest China phone community. So give us a try, check us out, you won't regret it. Okay guys, and thank you so much for watching, have a nice day, see you again in my next videos, and bye bye!